It's episode 9. And I actually don't even know what title or what to say about this.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
Only you can go two ways, either up or down. How much pride do you have in yourself? This is pride. This is a pride building week right here.
Pride building week.
Pride building. Either you're gonna come out with some pride and show that last game wasn't you, or you're gonna sulk because you lost the last 2, and you're gonna get beat again. Who knows?
Well, it's a defining moment of the year now. Like, we can finish the year 10-2, or we can finish the year. I don't even know what the record is now.
Oh, we're 72 now. We're 72 right now.
All right, so we can be 7-5.
No, I think we're gonna finish 75. I think we'll probably, I think they'll bounce back this week. Hopefully, they'll bounce back this week.
They have the talent and the skills to run the table. The rest of the rest of the league.
And the good thing about it, what better way of having, after losing 62-3 on the road, have your next game at home instead of having to go on the road again. That's tough because now you're back in the friendly confines of your environment where people are going to be on your side, where everyone's not going to always be against you. And I think that's what happened the last couple of weeks. And this team here, for some reason, when they go into big-time environments, they don't play well. And I know people say, well, they play well versus Wisconsin. Well, yes, they did. But did they play well, or did Wisconsin not play well? That's how I look at it. What you had was two teams evenly matched. But then you go back to this past Saturday. You saw what talent can do, and people don't understand. Ohio State, 44 of their top 85 players, scholarship players, are either freshmen, shirt freshmen, or sophomores. So just think about that, people. And we talk about how young we are at some positions, and how good we are at some, how bad we're at some positions. You can be young and talented and win a lot of football games, and that's what Ohio State showed Nebraska. We don't care how young we are. We're a talented football team, and it's up for us coaches to get our players in the right position to make plays, and that's exactly what happened. Nebraska didn't come out. They didn't come out with a fight. It's like boxing. Who controls the fight? Well, who controls the fight? The person who lands the hardest punch, the first hard punch. Well, Ohio State swung and connected, and you can just tell from that point Nebraska was on the heels. They were just trying to make it through the game.
And that was two-time national champion. Tommie Frazier. I am Dan Powers, and this is Tommie Frazier's Husker Nation. You didn't waste any time. No, the good thing is about it, we waited a couple of days to do the show because if we would have done it Monday, like we normally do, there's no telling what would have come out of my mouth. I was pissed. I shouldn't have been. If people ask me, say, Tom, are you pissed? I say, no, I'm not. They say, no, I'm not pissed. I say, am I mad? Maybe a little bit. Am I upset? No. And people say, well, why aren't you pissed? I say, because I'm not playing. Yeah. Why aren't you upset? Because I kind of figured Nebraska's going to lose the game. Why are you a little mad? Because they didn't compete. That's why I'm mad. To me, that's the bottom line. And we said on the show that I thought Ohio State was going to beat Nebraska. So I wasn't even looking for them to win the game. Yeah. But they could have went out and competed. And it's only one person controls how you compete, and that's yourself. And I don't think any player on that team competed. Not one. Yeah, I'm mad for that exact same reason. I think you have a different perspective that most of us don't have the ability to understand or haven't been with. So, we grasp and we get very emotional about it. And I was I'm talking about hostile territory. I was in Vegas for this game. Uh-huh. And so I know of a place that I watched the game before, and I thought, hey, we'll go over to this bar in Planet Hollywood, and we'll watch the game. Right. TVs, beer pong. It's a really nice setup. So we go over there, and we got great seats. We're right up front. 3 big screen projection TVs, lots of 42-inch or 50-inch TVs all over, like great seats. And as we're sitting there before the game, and then I order drinks, I look up and I see a banner.
It's an Ohio State banner. Right underneath it, it says the official Vegas home of the Ohio State Buckeyes. So what happens? That place filled up with Ohio State fans.
Right.
Oh, and I'm clear in the front of this place. So
you know they saw you.
Yeah, and I got the pity beer ordered for me. Like, I got a beer delivered to me for pity. And then at halftime, I had to do the walk of shame all the way out to the door. Like, it was bad.
Oh, you left at halftime?
Oh, yeah, I left. I couldn't take it. I'm in Vegas. Like, I'm not going to spend my Saturday night in Vegas watching this garbage.
Right. And that's the sad thing about it was that, a lot of people set their day around this prime time. It's going to be a good football game. Win or lose, both teams going to go out to compete. It's going to be competitive. And after the first 10 minutes of the game, you can tell this game was over.
Yeah, they have no fight in them right at the beginning.
And the flashback to me was it took me all the way back to the Big 12 championship game in Kansas City when Nebraska played Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And on the very first play of the game, pick six, and everything went downhill from there. Well, the same thing happened this past week. First series of the game, pick six touchdown.
Yeah.
And right then you saw, but then keep in mind Nebraska, they came back and fought, and I think they went down and kicked a field goal next possession or two. But you still just saw that this team played scared. And there's no other way I can put it, or a nicer way I can put it. They played scared. The environment, the atmosphere, the situation, the team that they played was too great for Nebraska on this past Saturday.
Outside of just mentally them not being there, I question and I haven't questioned the coaching all year, me personally. This game, I was like, what are they doing?
Well, it was coaching. It was the whole team. I'm not going to put the players didn't execute what they're supposed to, but the coach didn't put the players in the proper position to make plays either, compete either. So this was a total team disaster. And you're the number 10 ranked team in the country at the time. They're the number 16 ranked team in the country at the time. And they beat you by 59 points. Something's wrong with that picture. You can't say, well, these coaches are still trying to figure these players out or this. No. You didn't say that. You didn't say that when you're 7-0.
Yeah.
You didn't say that when versus Wisconsin when you lost in overtime. So don't use that type of excuse now when you lose 62-3 or people. This is the coaching staff's second year. They can't use that excuse right now.
We talked about it last week at Wisconsin. Just something really basic. The fact that I was really excited that this whole year they've been tackling.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, this game they could not tackle for nothing. They would wrap up and just let go.
Yeah, and then they hit, then they let it go. Well, when you watch Ohio State hit, you went backwards.
Yeah.
There was no question about anything. You went backwards. And they didn't miss very many tackles. And if they did, somebody was there to clean it up. Why? Because they put the effort Ohio State showed was 100 times better than the effort Nebraska put out there. That's why I was a little bit mad. I wasn't expecting for Nebraska to win the game. No. I said that last week. No. But I thought it would be more competitive.
That's why I was mad too. They didn't compete. They went in there and completely rolled over right away. The whole game, Nebraska only had 9 first downs.
Yeah, they ran 56 plays. I thought 56 plays. And we talked about this off the air that Ohio State leading tackler had 5 tackles.
Yeah,
leading tackler had 5 tackles. What that's saying is that we didn't have very many plays.
Yeah,
we weren't gonna run very many plays. And they didn't. So it's just, wow.
Yeah.
There's not much more you can say about this game because the proof is out there. It's Wednesday. No need to rehash it. It's time to move forward. The one good thing that we can talk about is the health of Tommie Armstrong.
Yeah, that's what I was going to – that's the one thing I think worthy of talking about. It's just I've never seen a player get knocked out in a game like that.
Well, I've seen a player get knocked out like that in high school, and I've seen a player like that in college. So that part of it happens. It's like boxing. You get hit with the right punch in the right spot, you going to sleep. And with the way he hit the ground and he couldn't protect himself because one, he had the Army had the ball in the end, and two, it's just one of those fluke deals to where his head hit the turf at the right angle. But you wonder how serious the injury was, because it was 57 minutes from the time he was taken off the field and stretched to the hospital and when he was back in the stadium.
Yeah.
How serious, people say, well, does he have a concussion? Because you get knocked out doesn't necessarily mean you have a concussion.
Yeah.
You just got hit right way, just hit the right way. Hopefully they're keeping a good close eye on him this week and seeing how he's doing. And who knows, they make the smart choice whether to play him or not play him. But first and foremost, his health needs to be the most important part.
Yeah, it sounds like, at least as of Wednesday today, they're saying most signs point to a very quick return for him. Well, what that means, I don't know.
Well, it sounds like that means he didn't have a concussion.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's exactly. I mean, the fact that we see him back out there and quick,
and running by himself and all this kind of stuff. And then the reports I heard, he didn't have any headaches or anything on the plane coming back. The light didn't bother him, and because those are the key signs of a concussion. When the bright lights bother you, or at altitude, or you're on the plane, you have headaches, and none of those symptoms, as they reported, he didn't have the first couple of days after he was knocked out. So he might be a little sore.
Yeah. Do you think? I would assume. I don't even know. Do you think if he gets the green light that they'll play him?
Yeah.
This Saturday?
If he's healthy enough, yes.
No reason?
Yeah. There's no reason not to. If he's healthy and he passes all the concussion protocols, why not play him? I don't think he's I don't think he's in any worse harmful position if they play him and he goes out there and he gets a concussion. I think if he passes all the tests, and he shows that he can go out there and play and prove they can do it, then play him.
And I'm sure with his attitude, he wants to play. And he wants to be on that field.
Yeah, that shows the type of leader he is. That he wants to be out there helping his team win no matter what. And you got to take your hat off. You got to take your hat off to him. But I can't say that I know what he's going through because I never been knocked out or had a head injury like that. So it's one of those injuries I can't say, I know what he's going through, because I don't. But I think he's smart enough and he understands the game. He understands his body to where you got to protect yourself first and foremost. And so I think he's going to get together with his family, his coach staff, the doctors, and they're going to make the best decision for him, not the football team. Because at the end of the day, you don't do you really need him to win versus Minnesota? That's a question. That's the question.
I had that discussion today, and I don't know. So Riker Fife has not been impressive. And maybe that's because he hasn't played much, because he hasn't practiced as much. I don't know.
Right.
And then the offensive line is in shambles, so the run game has been terrible.
So that's the question. Do you if he's not 100%, do you put him out there risking hurting himself even more, and you barely win the game or you don't win the game? Or do you say, you know what? I think our defense is going to rebound enough, going to keep us in the game. I think we can do enough. Our offensive line can get a little bit healthier, so we can run the football a little bit more. But who knows? I don't know. But that's the question. Do you think Nebraska can win this game without Tommie?
Minnesota is what, like 7-2?
They're 7-2. They control their destiny.
Yeah.
They're in more control of their own destiny than Nebraska.
So Minnesota, let's see who they play.
Because if they went out in their last game versus Wisconsin, if Minnesota wins out, they win the West.
They play Northwestern, and then they play at Wisconsin.
Yeah, so if they went out, they win the Big Ten West.
Wow, that's impressive.
So Minnesota has more of a axe to grind right now.
They have more to lose
because they have more to lose with this game.
Is this the first year? They got a new coach this year, didn't they?
Well, he was the interim last year,
right.
But he was also there was defensive coordinator when Jerry Kill was there.
Yeah, Minnesota. So this game's
Minnesota controls their destiny more than any other team out there. Well, outside of Wisconsin, well, those two teams play each other at the end. So
they play at the end.
They play at the end.
Wow. So this game,
man, is making Kurt Hursley look good right now, because remember at the beginning of the season he said Minnesota's going to win the Big Ten West. Yeah. Man, they're making him look good right now.
He's not far off. I mean, they have a real opportunity.
Yeah. They have more of an opportunity to win out and win the Big Ten West than Nebraska.
We have a chance to see in the Big Ten title game, that long shot, but Penn State versus Minnesota. Although Penn State won't probably get past Have they played Michigan?
No. Yeah, they played Michigan and lost. They played in Ann Arbor a couple weeks ago and lost.
Did they?
Yeah.
I got to look now.
Yeah. Penn State has 2 losses in the conference, I think.
Yeah, they have 2. Yeah.
Yeah, so if anything.
One out of conference.
Yes.
They did lose to Michigan, though.
Yeah, so I mean, the only way Penn State can make it to the Big Ten West, to the Big Ten championship game.
Is this Ohio State beats Michigan?
No.
No, then it's
3 tied. Who are the highest ranked team?
Yeah.
Then it goes to the coin toss. Then they got one to look at the draw. That's the only way.
Who thought we would see? I mean, out of all, we've been trying to build our season back up and get back up into the fight and into the hunt for, a conference title. And out of nowhere, Minnesota and Penn State now a top 10 team.
Yeah, Penn State. Once they beat Ohio State, you just saw a totally different team. Their confidence level built up there, and they might have the best running back in the Big Ten. One of the top running backs in the country. I know that.
Man, I don't know about our running backs though.
It's too much, and we said this all along. I understand this running back by committee type crap and all this kind of stuff, but we're to the point now to where then and we go. Let me step back a little bit. You go back to your statement you made. Say the coaches didn't put the players in. You didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Here's what sold me on that. When they tried to run Divine Zigbo on the outside zone play, and it looked like it took him 3 days to go 5 yards.
He's 240.
And right there, let me know. Right there, let me know. Like, what is he thinking? What does he call him? And then they got pass happy on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. Why they throw the ball deep every time? It's stuff like that makes you wonder. Was the coaching staff prepared, or they threw out their best and they got hit in the mouth and they didn't, so they tried to go to plan B. Plan B didn't work, so they tried to go to plan C. Plan C didn't work, so they just started calling a whole bunch of stuff to try to get something to work. That's what it looked like to me.
They went deep frequently. Third and 1.
Third and 1, 3rd and 7. They're going deep.
Constantly going deep. And the Zigbo, I was going to bring that up earlier. Him running to the outside. Yeah. What in the world?
That's when I was like, wow. And I think I sent out a tweet about this staff need to get the team together, group them, and sell them down because they were playing tight. Well, maybe the coaches should have got together and sell each other down because they were coaching tight.
It almost seems like, I don't know, but usually when you have problems at the top where there's distractions, that filters down. So I wonder if there was more to this, and mentally at the top of this staff, something was going on, or
I don't think it was. I just think I think it's honest to believe when that first series came out and there was a pick 6 for his touchdown, Ohio State punched Nebraska in the mouth and hit them hard and staggered them. The coaching staff and players never recovered from it. They were on the ropes the rest of the night. They were afraid to swing, and every time they swung, Ohio State a duck moved to the right and hit back. That's what I thought. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was like when you used to go back to the old days and you watch Muhammad Ali when he tore it with people.
Yeah,
he'll stand in front of you and dare you to hit him and you don't hit him, and that's what Ohio State did. Ohio State didn't do anything fancy on defense. Go back and watch that game and see how many times Ohio State blitzed Nebraska on defense. They didn't need to.
Dude, they were all over. They didn't have any problem getting through the line.
No, they didn't need to. Now, how many times did Nebraska blitz Ohio State and miss? 3 or 4. So that's the type of stuff that I've talked about, to where you had a more superior team talent-wise. And now, I'll be the first one to say if they play this game 10 times, do I think Nebraska win a couple of them? Yes, I think Nebraska win a couple of them, but I still think Ohio State will probably beat Nebraska 8 of the 10 times. But it won't. But I can promise you, it won't be another 62-3 score. It might be a 35-14 or something like that, but 62-3? No. Everything that went right for Ohio State went right. Everything that could go wrong for Nebraska went wrong.
I just don't understand. Yeah, I hate to beat a dead horse, but we haven't seen. Just one more last thing. We have not seen Wilbon at all, hardly at all, for weeks. And I think it was the second quarter. It might have been the middle of the first quarter, but they brought him in for a run and then ran him right out. Yeah. And then he came in once again. I think
he had 3 carries for 19 yards on 13 yards. As long as runs a 9 yard, and he probably was the only one all the running backs they have, that he can make something out of nothing if you just run the ball up the middle. Stop trying to run outside, because that's what kills me. And it took Coach Osborne a long time to learn this too. You can't try to run so much stuff outside when the team is just as fast as you on the other side of the ball. So you got to do misdirection stuff, or you got to run straight downhill at them. And I felt we tried to do too much sideline instead of going north-south. We did too much east-west. And we don't have the offensive line to try to go east-west.
Yeah.
So to give our guys the best chance to be successful, line up and run the ball downhill. Because if they do lose yards, it might be 1 or 2.
All right. Yeah. I'm looking online, and it looks like right now they have Nebraska favored 68% over Minnesota. I thought there was a post yesterday I actually seen, and it might have been wrong, but I seen Minnesota favored by 1 point.
Well, I did too.
I was like, was that just me?
No. You weren't wrong, because they're basing that off Tommie not playing.
Now today I've seen it's changed.
Because maybe they're thinking Tommie might play.
I figured that's probably what it is. There was an article came out that said he might be back.
No, but I saw the same thing. That was the reason why. Because you notice they waited for the longest time to post the spread.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know what Tommie's going to play or not going to play. So what they did was say, okay, we're going to pretend he's not going to play till we hear different. So guess what? We're going to put Minnesota favorite, which rightfully so. Should have. But I don't pay attention to these spreads anymore, because Ohio State, they didn't cover a spread for 3 weeks, and then they
it's just interesting to see what the early perception is.
The perception last week was right. It was right. It was right. But it's just one of those deals to where that game right there was a fluke game, in my opinion, to where Nebraska, once they stepped out and saw that 109,000 people all in red, you didn't know whether it was Nebraska red or Ohio State red. The crowd got loud, and the defense came out and swung hard and hit Nebraska hard in the mouth the first series. And right then you're like, we're in a brawl. We're in a street fight. Mm-hmm. And Nebraska never answered the call. That's all that was, and that's all. And if anybody tells me anything different, I'm gonna ask them what game were they watching.
Got nothing positive to say.
Because I'm just thinking about even defense, when you got a safety who have been playing well all year, and a slot guy runs a skinny post, and he lets the guy run on his toes, he catch the ball and miss the tackle, and the guy scores. Come on. Something was going on that night.
Chris Jones, I think that's Chris Jones I seen that had the safety he wasn't a safety.
It was Williams.
Yeah,
It was Williams.
But I seen Chris Jones a couple of times out there making just crazy
stuff that they didn't do all year.
Like, he's been good. He's been pretty solid. You haven't seen the secondary a major issue with the secondary pretty much all year. They
didn't play. This was their worst game. Then you talk about 3rd and 20. And they throw a deep in around and catch it and get first down. It's like, really? What's going on, people? Do you guys really don't want to play the game? Why are you wasting that? Why don't you just forfeit the rest of this game and get back on the plane?
I don't know. Now, doesn't make a difference. I think they would have destroyed us either way. We were mentally ready. But when you see your leader go down on the field like that and then hauled off in an ambulance, and like 30 seconds later you got to be out there, snapping the ball again. I bet that's hard.
It is tough. It is tough, but you still got to put that stuff behind you, because you still got a task at hand. You know, this team has been through a lot this season with everything went with Sam Foltz and stuff like that, to where the emotional stuff should have been gone.
Yeah.
That's what emotion, and yes, time is a key part of the game, but injuries happen in sports. And you got to refocus yourself, because you can't be out there worried about that, because now if you're out there thinking and worried about something that's not pertinent to the play you're about ready to run, you're going to get yourself hurt. So this is not the first time a player has gotten hurt in the game and somebody had got caught off the game. You got to refocus yourself. You got to refocus yourself and go out there and continue the task that you have at hand and try to win a football game.
Well, they need to all refocus for this week, because Minnesota's not going to roll over.
No, Minnesota came in here 2 years ago and beat Nebraska.
Well, 7-2,
and they won three out of 5 years. Nebraska since Nebraska been Big Ten.
Is that what it's been? 3 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've lost to Penn State, which has been really good, and surprisingly, they lost to Iowa.
Right. Early to Iowa.
Yeah, they lost pretty early in the season. Second game of the season, and it was close, 14-7. And the Penn State one was close, 29-26.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not.
So I mean, it's not like they're getting blown out. The loss they had a chance to win both. They could be undefeated. If you look at the two losses, So I just think now's the time for Nebraska. If they want to show their true grit and what type of mental makeup and emotional makeup this team has, they need to come out Saturday and play play hard, win the game, and win it in a way to where people can stop doubting them. Because right now, even though they're still ranked in the national poll, there are people still doubting people still doubting.
Well, that's the nicest thing. The 62-3 was painful, but it's pretty awesome the fact that after all these years, we are still in the top 25. The fact we're even in the top 25 makes me feel good.
Right.
And then we lost 2 games. One of them we got destroyed, but we're still being a top 25.
You're 19 based on the playoff rankings. You're number 19.
It's not what the goal is, but that's still pretty nice to be able to say.
And people, the season's still not over because there's 3 more games to play.
3 more games.
And Nebraska wins all 3. And Minnesota beat Wisconsin at the end. Yeah. They still play for the Big Ten championship. And who knows what can happen there? Who knows? No one knows. But so the season's not over with. They still got they need a little help.
Chance.
They need a little help.
Yeah.
But the season's not over with.
Ooh, wouldn't that be pretty cool? Yeah. I mean, in likelihood.
And it could be another rematch with Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
Because if Ohio State wins out,
they beat Minnesota. Michigan.
Michigan, they're going to be the champ, the Big Ten East champ.
And there's a good chance. Minnesota's got a good chance the way they're playing right now.
Yes.
To take on and beat Wisconsin.
Yes.
Hell, they got a good chance to beat us.
Wisconsin's defense, everybody's seen it. You saw versus Northwestern. Wisconsin's offense is not very good. It's not. Their defense is what's keeping them in ball games, helping them win games.
Yeah. So they got a chance still.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go to sleep on Minnesota this week because they came in here a couple years ago and beat Nebraska. I think right now they're confident. They're ready. They feel they can come in here and repeat what they did 2 years ago. Because there's still quite a few guys on this team this year that beat Nebraska a couple years ago.
And I'm sure they're going to come in and they've seen what Ohio State did. Hit us early, punch us in the mouth, cause a little pain early, and rattle us. I wouldn't be surprised if they definitely try to do something early on to put some pain to us. But I don't know. What do you think?
But I think Nebraska will win a close one. I do, and it's simply because I don't see this team with the leadership this team has this year. I don't see them losing 3 in a row. I don't. And I could be dead wrong, but I just think defense want to go out and prove something.
There was something going on Saturday night. Mentally, they were messed up.
Yeah, the defense want to go out and prove something.
I mean, you've seen Tommie's been. I mean, God, dude got took to the hospital, ran back in. You got Jordan Westerkamp. He was completely mad on the side. I mean, there is some guys on this team that have a lot of drive, and I agree with you. I don't think this team is. I don't think those leaders on this team are gonna allow 3 in a row.
Right.
I mean,
but we'll see. They still got to play the game, and hopefully, they can come out and get back on the right track.
Yeah. Well,
not much more you can say. Not much more you can say about it.
I know this.
I mean,
the shortest show ever. No, it's not been that short, but it's like there's only so much you can.
Yeah. Would you want someone to sit here and analyze the X and O's?
No, it was complete.
There's nothing. If you turn it, I couldn't even sit here and watch the first quarter again if I wanted to.
Oh, it was bad.
I couldn't. And they gave us 14 points in the first quarter, 17 in the second quarter, 24 in the third quarter, 7 in the fourth.
We left. I left the bar. And as I'm walking, of course, the casino has it on every TV, every 5 feet. And I swear every time I looked up, it was another score.
Yeah, and I was at one of my buddy's house. And I looked at him. I said, I got there. And I said, there's a good chance I'll probably leave here at halftime. He's like, "Oh, it's gonna be a good game." I said, "There's a good chance I'll leave here at halftime." Mm-hmm. And as the game was going on, he looked at me and said, "Yep, looks like you'll be leaving at halftime."
Yeah. We'll see you later.
Yeah, so I mean, there's not much you can talk about that, say about it. I mean, it happened. It's over with. It's in the past. Move on. Let's focus on Minnesota. The coaches put together a good game plan to get the guys in position to execute what you want them to do, and let's leave Memorial Stadium on Saturday night around 10:30, 11 with a victory.
Yeah, this still can go down as a very successful season.
Yeah, and to me, it is a successful season.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen a ton of improvement from last year.
Well, you got two more wins. You got 2 more wins than you did last year. So that's successful right there. Now, how much more successful you want to be if you win the next one? Now you're 3 games more successful.
Yeah.
So with people, how many people truly thought Nebraska going to have an opportunity to be even on the outskirts 8 weeks into the season of the BCS playoff? Think about that. No one. I never thought they were going to win.
I mean, they were right there.
If they beat Wisconsin or Ohio State, they're still right there.
They're in the discussion.
They're in the top 10.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer of that because look at Texas A&M. They lost to an unranked team, and they only dropped down 4 spots. So if Nebraska would beat Wisconsin, they probably pushed them way up to a 7.
Yeah.
And then they lose how they lost to Ohio State would have mattered. But they probably would have dropped 3 or 4 spots. But then you go to the Big Ten championship game. You went out, you go to the Big Ten championship game. Because then you don't have 1 loss in the conference.
Yeah, you would have been.
And you went out, the Big Ten championship game, and you win the Big Ten championship game. It's gonna be hard to keep a 1-loss Big Ten champion out of the BCS playoff. It's gonna be hard. That's why Ohio State is still ranked where they are. That's why Wisconsin is ranked where they are.
Yeah. It's crazy to think how close we were.
You were there.
And really, there's still a chance out there.
No, there's no chance.
Not for BCS, but for a Big Ten title.
Oh, Big Ten title, yes.
You're right. Not for BCS. But we were it's crazy. We were 5-7 last year, and this year we were on the outskirts, and we all of a sudden became part of the discussion.
Yeah.
For just a minute. But we were there.
We were there. And who would have thought that starting the season? I did.
I'm just upset about the way we didn't even attempt to play. It's not the loss, it's how it went down. But if you think about the positive, my God, almost in the BCS talk. I mean, what do we get up to? 8?
Yeah, we got them 8.
I mean, holy cow. And we're still in the top 20.
And you lost to Wisconsin and you dropped to number 10.
Yeah, that just shows how good they played.
Yeah, so just imagine if you'd have beat Wisconsin. You'd probably been 6.
And today, if we lost and we just didn't lose in the manner we did, everybody would. I mean, Husker Nation would be much calmer, and we would be, I don't know, a 15 team.
No, you know what though, I truly believe that Nebraska, the fans are as ticked off by the way they lost versus Ohio State. They were more ticked off by Wisconsin.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Yeah, because Nebraska, they saw that Nebraska had a chance to win that game.
They did.
Even late.
And they did.
And Nebraska didn't play their best.
Am
I correct?
No, they did. And I'm actually the opposite. I wasn't as mad, but you're right. There probably were because there was an opportunity. Mm-hmm. And they could not. Not only was there an opportunity, there were several opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
And they couldn't close it. They couldn't close the door. The door was wide open. They couldn't walk in and close it behind them.
In overtime, 10 more yards. We were at least kicking a field goal. We at least have an attempt at a field goal.
Yeah, but we still need to score a touchdown, though. Because they scored a touchdown.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
There was.
But get a first down, though.
Yeah, we had a first down.
Get a first down.
But you're right. I wasn't as mad because I was just proud to see them to actually play a top 10 team that tough. But you're right. A lot of fans probably looked at that very differently than I did because there was opportunities, and they just couldn't cash one of those in.
No one thought they was going to win Ohio State. I didn't.
No, but I thought they would at least.
I thought they'd be competitive.
Yeah.
Compete. But I didn't think. I thought the best chance of winning those 2 was Wisconsin.
It's not even that they got beat and ran over. It looked like they just didn't even play.
They didn't try.
They just didn't.
Go ahead. Let's start there. This team didn't try Saturday.
Yeah, they just didn't, and that's what was frustrating. It's just like, what? I mean, I know they got to be frustrated too, but there was something mentally going on. They were beat up. They were scared, but it was That's the frustrating part.
This team didn't try Saturday, and those coaches can say whatever they want to say. I'm on basing off. Well, I didn't go and practice, and I even sent a tweet out. Did this team even practice this week? Did they practice? Because what I saw on the field Saturday, they had no idea what Ohio State was going to do. Defensively, they had zero idea. Ohio State punted the ball 0 times. Think about that. 0 times.
Is that what it was? I didn't even look at that.
They didn't punt the ball at all.
Jesus Christ. They didn't have time. They're too busy scoring.
That's my point.
Too busy.
That's my point. That they, I don't think they knew what was going on. 3rd and 20. Okay, that's kind of one of those ones down like they say, okay, we finna get off the field. 3rd and 20. You don't see 3rd and 20 being picked up at all. And what happened?
Touchdown.
They picked it up. But the game's over with. No need to continue rehashing it. Hopefully they just come out with a better mentality, better energy, better spark, and play.
Anything's possible still.
Anything's possible, yeah.
Well, not the BCS, but anything else?
No, I'm good, man. Ain't anything else possible until they get punched in the mouth, and then they fall in the ropes and don't come out. Don't bounce off the ropes. But that's why I was mad, because they just didn't fight. There was no fight.
Oh, we fought. Pat and JT whooped them again.
This is getting ugly.
It's not even.
This is getting ugly.
They tied us in games, but then when it came to the points, and what it averaged out per team, we took them again. So I don't even know what the streak is now.
It's like it was like 7 or 8.
I
think it was 8 last week because they only won 1 week.
They won the second week, and we won every week since.
Yeah, so 7 weeks, 7 or 8 in a row.
So even the bye, yeah.
Even bye week, we won that.
Yeah.
Man, this is getting too easy.
I think we should take over the radio show, and they take over. I mean, they came into our house and they did picks and they failed. Let's see if we can do better.
I think we need to go see if we can get better ratings. Can we get better ratings on their show? How about that?
Holy cow!
And we'll talk about all social issues and stuff like that.
Yeah,
we're versatile. We're versatile.
I'm sure. I turned on the radio this morning and there was a lot of presidential talk.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We can do that.
We can do it. Do I want to do it? No, but we can do it.
Welcome to the Tommie and Dan Show on Q98.5.
That's right.
We got it.
Right. You got that right.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in just a few days, actually.
Yeah,
so we'll be back next week talking about the Minnesota-Nebraska game, the Husker win, hopefully. Otherwise, if you haven't already, go over to iTunes and subscribe. And while you're there, feel free to leave a review. We're also available on SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, almost everywhere else. And I haven't checked since I got home from Vegas, but we might be on, what did I tell you we're going to be on?
On Spotify?
We're on Spotify.
And iHeart?
No, not iHeart. Yeah, iHeart. I got to check that one. We should be on iHeart now. If you get it on iHeart, let me know.
Sounds good.
Otherwise, we'll be back talking about something. Well, this game just kind of, it's blah. Yeah. We'll be talking about a win. I'm sure we're going to see a resurgent. This team wants to go out successful. They don't want to go out like this. So I think you're going to see it start to click, and they'll finish strong the next few games.
That's right.
That's what I believe.
I think they'll be fine this week.
Yeah.
Pride. This is a pride week.
Yeah.
So, either you're gonna have a lot of pride about what you do and go out there and play better, or you're gonna have no pride and lose again. That's enough said.
TouchdownTommie.com and Twitter /TouchdownTommie.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't forget those.
Till next week.
Right.